Welcome to Regarding Relationships, the podcast where we dive into all things relationships. The ones we choose, the ones we're born into, and the messy ones we're still figuring out. I'm your host, Haley, a licensed therapist, author, and soon-to-be doctor of social work. Yep, I'm almost there. I've spent years working with individuals, couples, and families, and I've seen firsthand what brings us closer and what pushes us apart. Together, we'll explore the mess and magic of human connection. So, let's get into it. Hey everyone, I'm so glad you're here. I'm your host, Haley, and thanks for making me part of your day. Welcome to Hurt People, Hurt People. Before we dive in, just a quick note, this space is minimal on purpose. Just simple visuals and the sound of my voice, and it's designed this way to help you slow down and settle your nervous system. So whenever you're ready, let's begin. What does hurt people mean? Well, we've all had moments when someone's words or actions cut deep. Maybe they ignored us, criticized us, or lashed out. And our first thought is often, what did I do wrong? Why me? But here's the truth. Most of the time, it's not about you. When someone treats you poorly, it says more about what's happening inside of them than anything about your worth. It could be pain they haven't healed, fears you unknowingly triggered, or struggles they don't know how to handle. So why do we take it personally? Why do we blame ourselves? Well, we long for connection. And if someone pulls away, criticizes us, or lashes out, it can stir old wounds. We start thinking, I must not be good enough. I must have caused this. This is especially true if you grew up with rejection, neglect, or inconsistent love. It can feel like deja vu, and the nervous system automatically assumes it must be your fault. But here's the truth. Their behavior is about their story, not your value. And taking it personally actually hands them power. It lets their hurt define how you see yourself. Why do people hurt others? Why do hurt people hurt people? Well, let's try to break this down. Their behavior often stems from unhealed wounds. They may be carrying old pain and they project that outward. For example, if they felt dismissed growing up, they might dismiss you to avoid their own vulnerability. Perhaps it's due to stress or strong emotions they can't manage. Anger, sadness, or shame can leak out as sarcasm or aggression. You just happened to be nearby. Perhaps they're feeling threatened. Your confidence or your calm might remind them of what they lack. So instead of admiring these traits in you, they attack you to protect their ego. Their behavior may be due to triggering and unknown associations. Perhaps you unintentionally remind them of someone who once hurt them. So their reaction is less about you and more about that memory. They also could be feeling jealous or envious of your success, your relationships, or even your contentment. This may highlight their own insecurities. Now, none of these excuses poor behavior, but they do remind us it's not about you. So how can you respond without taking it on? When someone comes at you with hurt, what can you do? Here's how you can respond with clarity and compassion without losing yourself in the process. Number one, you might choose to stay curious, asking yourself, what might this be about for them? And here's what that means. Their reaction is about them, not you. So you're shifting away from thinking, why are they doing this to me? And you're shifting it to what's going on with them. This approach is empathetic, where we're maybe, again, not personalizing or assuming. And here's how you can do that. You can ask yourself, what are they maybe feeling underneath this anger or behavior? Or could this be about pain that I don't see? You could think to yourself, this feels out of proportion. I wonder what's really going on. Number 2, you can show compassion with boundaries. You can care without being a doormat. And here's what that means. You can acknowledge their pain without absorbing their behavior. Compassion does not mean accepting mistreatment. And here's how you can do that. You can use clear, kind boundaries. For example, you might say, I'm really sorry that you're hurting, and I want to support you, but I can't accept being spoken to that way. So you're staying calm but firm and protecting your peace. Number 3, don't hand over your worth. And here's what that means. Their words and actions do not define your value. Often their behavior reflects their own pain, not your worth. And here's how to practice this. You can pause and ground yourself, reminding yourself this is their pain talking, not my truth. You can affirm your identity, reminding yourself, I know who I am. I don't have to accept this label. You can avoid internalizing. Just because it's said doesn't make it true. And you can set emotional distance. You can still care without carrying. Number 4, you can seek to understand what it's really about, because their behavior often stems from something deeper. Unhealed trauma or past pain, stress or sadness showing up as aggression, meanness as a defense mechanism, or maybe even learned behavior, criticism modeled in childhood. Most likely, it stems from low self-worth. People who feel small often try to make others feel even smaller. But I do want to stress here that it's not your responsibility to understand what it's really about. That's for them to understand. But it does help you to differentiate between what is theirs and yours. And it does help you to come from that place of curiosity and compassion, if you choose to. So again, you can be compassionate without becoming a target. You can be kind without tolerating cruelty. And you can walk away without guilt, knowing that their reaction belongs to them and your worth belongs to you. So you might be wondering, how do I know it's not about me? What are some signs I can look for? Well, here are some clues that their reaction is theirs to own. If they overreact to something small, that's theirs to own. If their tone doesn't match the situation, that's theirs to own. If they criticize qualities in you that are actually your strengths, definitely theirs to own. And if their response feels familiar, like an echo of their pain, not yours, that's theirs to own. So when you notice these signs, you can step back and remind yourself, this is about them, not me. And here's why not taking it personally matters. It's a powerful shift that protects your peace. You don't have to carry someone else's burden as your own. It also keeps your self-worth intact. You remember who you are, even when others can't see it. It breaks cycles. Hurt people may hurt people, but healed people can heal people. So again, you can choose not to become another hurt person who then hurts somebody else. Ultimately, taking it or choosing not to take it personally gives you freedom because you don't have to live at the mercy of someone else's mood, jealousy, or wounds. So in summary, you can protect yourself by pausing before reacting. You do not have to match their energy. You can choose distance when needed. Space is not a weakness, it's wisdom. You can set boundaries. Compassion does not require self-sacrifice. And ultimately, the best thing we can do is surround ourselves with people who see and value us. I would now like to invite you to participate in a reflection exercise. So if this feels right for you, take a few moments today and ask yourself, when was the last time someone's words cut me deeply? And was that really about me or about them? And what would I change if I stopped taking things so personally? Just noticing the difference is the first step toward freedom. For my closing thought today, I just want to remind you that hurt people, but you don't have to carry their hurt as your own. Their actions speak to their struggles, not your worth. So hold your head high and respond with compassion when you can and set boundaries when you must. Because when you stop taking it personally, you take your power back. Thank you so much for listening today. If something from this episode spoke to you, I'd love to hear it. Drop a comment or share a question about a relationship that's on your mind. Big or small, your questions can spark conversations we all can learn from. And if you'd like to keep exploring these topics with me, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss what's next. I'm grateful you're here. I'll see you next time. And until then, stay curious, stay kind, and stay connected.